Hey guys, I want to record a quick little thing here about where our left hand or fretting hand pressure comes from when we're playing guitar. Now, for a long time, and really most guitar players, and I was like this too, our natural instinct when we go to play a string or a chord or whatever we're going to do, our natural instinct is to pinch it between our thumb and whatever finger happens to be playing the note. So we got a lot of pressure on the back of the neck with our thumb, and we're basically trying to squeeze a string with our hand. Now here's the thing about squeezing. If you squeeze your fist or if you sit here and pinch for a while, you'll notice over time, it won't take long, just a couple minutes if that, you'll start to feel a lot of tension in your forearm and maybe in your wrist as well. And if you play guitar that way, I bet you feel it while you're playing guitar too. And I definitely struggled with it for a long time, and it made it to where I couldn't even really practice for very long. Maybe a half hour at most before it really started to be painful. Turns out it's also a pretty quick way to get carpal tunnel because repeated usage of your hand in that manner will inflame that tendon right there over time. And we don't want that. Well, so I was watching an acquaintance of mine, Tim Miller, who's a wonderful guitar player. He's up in Boston now, and if you haven't heard him, you got to check him out. When I was watching him, he's got this beautiful up and down vibrato where basically you're staying inside the fret rather than going up and down the fretboard like this. You're going side to side on the string, and he was doing it on a whole chord. And I noticed while he did it, his whole thumb came off the neck. And then the notes are still ringing out. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I said, maybe the pressure doesn't come from the thumb. And so I started thinking about that. I started trying to play that way. And the way I practiced it was simply to try playing with my thumb off the neck. Now it's not the way you're actually going to play when you actually play. Your thumb is a helpful brace. We do need it there. But in order to practice getting that feel of where the pressure should come from, you'll notice if you take your thumb off the neck, I'm going to turn this way so you can kind of see. Play whatever chord you want to, doesn't matter. If you take your thumb off the neck, you will immediately feel your arm start to pull, your upper arm, your biceps and your shoulders. You'll feel those start to pull in order to compensate for the lack of pressure from your thumb where it used to be. And it turns out this is a way more ergonomic and efficient way to play guitar because these muscles can sit here and pull all night and supply all the pressure that you need, which isn't much, in order to push a string down. And all your fingers then have to do is just simply move like this. They're not supplying any pressure of their own. And anybody can sit here and wiggle their fingers all night and really not get tired. This doesn't wear your arm out, and this doesn't wear your wrist out. It also frees your fingers up to move faster. So if you're hitting roadblocks with your chops, like I can't play any faster, it's hard to play fast, this totally changes the game for that too, because really nobody's hands are faster than anybody else's hands. And you could take the fastest guitar player in the world and tell them, wiggle your fingers. They can't wiggle them any faster than I can. And I'm not the fastest guitar player in the world, not by any means. And you can take a guy off the street and he can do this. But when your fingers are having to supply all the pressure and your thumb is bracing against the back of the neck like this and you're squeezing the string, that takes a lot of your mobility out of your fingers. And so that's a big part of why guitar players hit roadblocks when they're trying to play faster. So not only is it more ergonomic and it leads to far less, if any, hand fatigue or arm fatigue at all, it's a helpful thing for your chops too. And you can practice just about anything. Bending strings gets a little bit hard. So again, when we actually play, we do need that thumb to brace for certain things. But in order to practice just getting that feel of supplying the pressure with your arm, just play whatever you can think of with your thumb off the back of the neck. If you normally play a scale like this, with your thumb off the neck. All right? You can do it. Anybody can do it. Anything you can think of, any chord, any scale pattern, anything you can think of, just to get that feel. Because then when you actually go and play, I mean, you can put your thumb back on the back of the neck, but you'll be used to supplying the pressure with your arm, and you won't need the thumb. All your thumb is really just kind of a placeholder, rather than a pressure point that you're trying to push against, or pinch to rather. And you'll notice also that when I go to play, say if I'm going to play this chord, right? If right now my fingers are just resting on the top of the strings, but if I actually go play it, you see the neck move a little bit. That's because I'm actually pulling. I'm actively pulling the guitar into me. All right, and even with my thumbs on the back of the neck, it's still that same thing. So, and that's because I'm pulling. And you don't have to pull very hard. It doesn't take much. And a really good check for you to see if you're getting the pressure from the right place. Anything you're playing, any note, you should be able to stop at any point and take your thumb off the back of the neck, and the note should still ring. All right, so say, I don't know, whatever, G chord. If you could take your thumb off the back of the neck and it still rings, you're in good shape. Or if you're playing a scale, should be able to do that. All right, this is a total game changer for me. All of a sudden, my hand fatigue went away, my arm fatigue went away, and my chops got better. So if you're having trouble with any of those three things, definitely check this out. I don't see a lot of people teaching this kind of thing, but it was like I said, it was a total game changer for me. So I urge you to try it, and hopefully it'll help you out too. All right, see you next time.